She had already started.
Okay, all right.
It's on video, right?
Yes.
All right. Go. Good evening, Dr. Jones and fellow classmates. My name is Tiffany Tucker. How many of you believe in the Ouija board? Well, I'm here today to inform you that the Ouija board is real. I chose this topic because I have always been fascinated with the Ouija board and how it's used. And seeing it on television, however, I have never had the nerve to use it. And to this day, I have never even touched it. Today, I'm going to tell you the history, the effects, and why you should believe that the Ouija board is real. Upon doing this research, I used some great articles and sources. I used an article from the Smithsonian Online called The Strange and the Mysterious History of the Ouija Board, published in 2013. I used another article printed from the Mental Floss Online article called The Brief History of the Ouija Board, published in 2014. Also, I used a short story called The Ouija Board Can Be the Creepiest Even When You Know How to Use It, which was published in 2014. Let me give you a little bit of history on the Ouija board. In 1886, the New York Tribe reported that a new talking board had started being used in the state of Ohio. It was between 18 and 20 inches long, featuring alphabets, numbers, and some people trace the history of the Ouija board back to the ancient Egyptians, due to the word Ouija, meaning yes to the Egyptians. As a myth of supported communications with the spiritual world, the Ouija board was used in countless slumber parties for teens and served as many plot vehicles in a number of Hollywood films. For example, such as the Ouija Origin of Evil, which was released this year in October the 21st, which featured a widowed mother unwittingly invites authentic evil into her home by adding a new stunt to bluster her scam business. When the spirit overtakes her youngest daughter, the small family must confront unthinkable fears to save her and send her back to the other side. Now I'm going to tell you how and why people use the Ouija board. To use the Ouija board, you will need two people, one on each side. You place the Ouija board on your lap. Each of you grab the plachet with your thumb and your forefinger on each corner closest to you. You begin to ask questions. Are there any communication? You may repeat the question if no answer at first. Shortly after, the plachet will start to move from right to left. Now, each person participating will probably assume that the other person is moving it at first. Once it starts to move, it will begin to respond by going to the word yes or the word no, after asking, are there any communications? Continue to ask questions, and the board should start responding, or should I say the spirit should start responding by spelling out their responses with the letters that's on the board. Most people use the Ouija boards because they want to communicate with the dead, and others use it just for fun and come to know that it is the real deal. There are paranormal groups and individuals that actually study the contents of the Ouija board and says that it's not dangerous. However, it's the spirits that you connect with that becomes dangerous. According to the Ghost Research Society, the spirits that are reached are from the lower level, which means sometimes they can be dangerous, they can be deceitful, and they can even lie to the person that's actually using the board. So now that you have the history and the context on how and why people use the board, let's go into the social and the psychological effects of using the Ouija board. On the social effects of using the Ouija board, some can be taken over by the demons and ruin them socially. For example, friends, you can lose friends due to situations that is uncontrollable because the spirit has transitioned into your body and taken over. Many people pass judgment on you because they can't understand why would anybody want to partake in talking to the dead. From a religious aspect, depending on your religious viewpoints, some would say it's a sin to connect and communicate with the dead, so they may shun away or even dismiss you. In the New King Version Bible, Deuteronomy 18, verse 11 and 12 states, cast spells, or a medium, or who is a spiritist, or who consults with the dead. Anyone who does these things is a detest to the Lord. On the psychological effect, the use of the Ouija board may trigger mental health problems. Some may discover aspects of himself which can be recovered from suppressed memories. Some people may get so fascinated that it becomes a habit to use the Ouija board and begin to lose themselves in it. Are there any questions? In closing, now that you know the history, how, and why people use the Ouija board, also you know the effects that can have psychologically and physically, socially and psychologically. It's not a bad thing to use the Ouija board. However, you have to be ready for the encounter. Thank you.